It's 2 years. 2 years on the continent, 2 years of experiencing a life that I didn't know existed. Every day, I'm still in awe. You can hear in the background the really cheerful, joyful birds that sing to me in the morning. I'd like to think that they're singing to me. The sunshine, the sky is so bright, it's beautiful, it's hot, but it's a clear sky, beautiful, just environment experience. And my life has changed so much. And in this video, I just want to be transparent and honest about those changes. There's been a lot of growth. And as many of you know, or if anyone knows and has had the privilege of growth, we know that growth is often very uncomfortable. And even in that discomfort, I give gratitude. I have an immense amount of gratitude for that growth, and I want to share. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk about my experience moving, living, and doing business here on the continent. I live in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I'm a mother of 2 young girls. I share my experience of love, motherhood, and entrepreneurship, and I am currently celebrating 2 years of living on the continent. It's wild. It's wild, and my life has changed so much. Absolutely 1000% for the better. And I want to highlight some of those things. And as I am building this community, there are so many of y'all that reach out to me that are talking about moving, that want to move, that are preparing to move. And this video is to give you that inspiration, right? To tell you the ups, right? Because I share the downs, right? But to tell you why it is so worth it, why the downs are worth it. My life is so much different, so different. So many different things have happened for my growth, and I want to share that. So even in this move, I have achieved so many goals. It was a lifelong goal for me to live abroad. Lifelong. I tried to do it when I was in college to study abroad. I didn't have that opportunity, and instead of actually moving, I traveled a lot. Traveled solo. Even in my last relationship, it wasn't a value, of his to travel the way it was for me. So I continued to travel. And everywhere that I went, I always was like, I could live here. But because of the relationship that I was in, without that shared value of exploration or a desire to live abroad, I thought that it was not gonna happen, right? I just thought it was impossible. And when I decided to live for me and to make decisions that were best for me and actually make the move, in that I achieved a lifelong dream of life abroad. And I did it, I also am, achieving the dream of living in a culture where there's a different language required. So never thought it would be Swahili, right? I never thought I would be living in a place where I would learn an African language or have to learn an African language, but I've been loving it. Even with the challenges of it, it's beautiful. I love it. I love being able to communicate in a different language that is African. That's an African language, right? I speak fluent Spanish, but that's not an African language. Africans speak it, but it's not an African language. Swahili is an African language, even through its different iterations. It has African roots, and I love that. I've even been able to connect some of the Zulu words that exist in Swahili as well, which shows a different level of wow, this continent is really connected. And so while Africa is not a country, it's a continent, but the fact that there are words in the Zulu language that have not been altered, right? Where Swahili is said to have been altered by different, colonizers, Arabic and German, but there are words that exist in the Swahili language that also exist in the Zulu language, which tells you that it is more African than it is anything else, right? So learning a new language, so now being trilingual. Okay, I'm about to have 4 because I'm about to know some Zulu, okay? Yeah, traveling to Africa having been able to travel. I know it's a dream for so many people, and I've been able to achieve that dream, right? Having traveled to South Africa, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Malawi, preparing to possibly travel to Kenya and Nigeria this winter or summer. Super excited about that. Yeah, just the ability to do that. It's really inexpensive, well, affordable. It's affordable, right, for me to travel on the continent. And this is a privilege that I recognize because of where I sit as a foreigner. I'm able to afford travel. But even if I hop on a bus to Kenya, I could do that. You know, I can go across the border and experience another culture, another country, because I live here on the continent versus having to travel from the US. I'm able to move around the continent a lot more economically because I live here. I love that. Yeah, I have also, one of the goals that I wanted to achieve that I didn't really know how I would achieve was to support the healing journey of other women, other mothers. And I've been able to do that here locally, just being in community with other women, and also just through this channel. You know, when many of you connect with me one-on-one, we're able to talk through, and I'm able to provide a level of support because I can relate to the things that you're experiencing. And I didn't always have that community, right? Because in the US, you're just supposed to put on this armor and deal with it and roll with the punches and be strong and, you know, not complain because this is the life that you chose, and this is the life of a, you know, strong Black woman. And I don't want that life. I am not a strong Black woman. I am a soft Black woman. I am not independent. I am interdependent. I need a man. I need a partner. I need a husband. I yearn to provide, to nurture, and to care for someone. It's not just my children, and to be cared for and to be loved and provided for. And that, yeah, that's me. That's me. And so my ability to communicate that, share the virtues of what that looks like in a woman through this platform and through some of the one-on-one calls that I have with women, I've been able to achieve a goal of healing and becoming and being a healer, right? Like reminding that I have always been that, I think, is one of the things that I've achieved being here. But not only personally, but financially, by sharing financial tools and by sharing mindsets that help you to support your financial goals. Yeah, and how to do this thing, right? Because I don't have a blueprint, but I have some experience that has seemingly been valuable to many, and I'm grateful for that. I'm humbled to share. I'm honored to be a person that people would come to for that level of support, guidance, and wisdom. And I hope to continue to do that, right? Like, I hope that I am able to continue to do that. I have attracted so many loving, supportive people in my life. And while I recently did a video about family and how they won't understand, and I think that video was helpful for a lot of people that are preparing or talking about their plans. It is also helpful to say that in that shedding, it is necessary because you're able to now create space and attract in new people that love you, that see you, that support you, that uplift you, that motivate you, empower you. I have that. And new relationships are being formed, even in my family, right? So I have some family that is so supportive, so loving, encouraging, have given me tools, have supported me through this, have like really encouraged me, poured love into me, where our relationships were not always that. So we've been able to fortify and grow these new relationships from the existing root. And that has been such a beautiful thing. I have made some lifelong friends from this internet, from this YouTube channel, from Instagram, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Another one of the things that I benefited from is just a reminder of my purpose. When you are not living in your purpose, that's where the stress and anxiety lies. I've learned that. I was so anxious, and this, like, right before I moved here, I was anxious, I was depressed, I was angry, I was sad, I was all of these emotions. And it's really because, you know, my environment, right? The instability of the environment that I was living in that, like, makes sure to kind of keep you here. But also I wasn't living in my purpose. And who can do that, right? There are some people that I think get to do that in the US, and you can see it. There is a clear distinction of people who are living in their purpose and the level and, like, the protection that they have. I didn't have that protection because I wasn't living in my purpose, but I discovered or was reminded of my purpose when I got here, because I was able to reconnect with myself. I was able to love on myself deeper, reconnect with nature, reconnect with myself, the creator in me. And that was something that reminded me that I am here to serve. I am here to add value. I am here to nurture and to care for people, and to not only care for my children, but my family, my man, my community, right? Like, that is my purpose, and I am secure in that because I now know that that is what it is. All of the other things I was trying to do, the other accolades that I was trying to earn, the other skills that I was trying to learn to compete in that economy wasn't my purpose, right? So now that I've been reminded to inform, inspire, and educate through this loving, nurturing place, yeah, I'm existing in that, and I'm growing in that, and I love that. I've been able to also achieve an infinite love of self. Man, an infinite love of self. Oftentimes, you know, if someone were to ask me or ask you, right, like, do you love yourself? I would have said yes. I would have thought I love myself. But when I looked at my values, or didn't even have values, right? How can you love self and not have values or standards for self? So if you don't have a set standard of values that you operate by, you can't love yourself, because you don't have a roadmap, you don't have a guide of a road of where you're willing to go and not go. If you're just all over the place and you'll go over here for this one and over there for that one and over there for this one, no, you don't have parameters, you don't have boundaries, you don't have standards. Those things, standards, values, boundaries, those are the things that set the tone for self-confidence. That sets the tone. That's like the bare minimum, even having them, identifying them, but then operating in them. Operating in those values with those boundaries has given me an infinite love of self. Like, infinite, okay? Quickly, I am able to see and identify, we're not doing that. You're not here for my highest self, because you're crossing a boundary. Clearly, it's so clear to me now. It wasn't clear to me before. And that's taken some time. You know, I have manifested the life, the love of my dreams, because I have become the love that I wanted. I have become the person that I needed. I do the things that I want done for me. Yeah. Yes. Just let me sit in that. Let me simmer in that. Yeah, and that feels amazing. It feels amazing. It just, Like I just melted just now thinking about. Yeah, all right, you know. So those are the ways that I have really changed, how my life has changed, how I have changed so drastically since moving to the continent. And I know you could probably look, I was looking at some of my older videos. I was looking at, you know, the inflammation in my face, because that's all I could see, right? Was my face. I obviously knew where I was in that place and I was pushing through a lot of that. So I wasn't necessarily, I couldn't see all of those things, but I was reviewing my journal entries from, you know, a year, 2 years ago. And yeah, I mean, I am just in such a beautiful place, such a beautiful energy, joy, abundance, gratitude. I am living such a fullness of life, and I'm here to share my story simply because I see so many of the women and the men that come contact me in my DMs just about a desire to live, a hatred for where they are currently. And I just want you to know it's possible. And despite any challenges that you think might exist, it is worth it. The peace is worth it. The gratitude, the level of love, the infinite sun, the infinite abundance, it's worth it. It is worth it. Push through, keep pushing. And while I know I face more challenges to come, I now have the peace and the tools to know that I can deal with anything because I am love, and I can always operate in love, and I can trust that that love will overcome and overtake anything that comes in my way. And I hope that was helpful for you. Please like the video. If it was, comments below. If you're not a journaler, I recommend journaling, document, share your story, share the love and the grief and the pain and the sadness that you're experiencing in this time, because in time, it will get better. If you do the work, it will get better. I've created some journals specifically, you know, from my experience, you know, inspired by this journey of self-love that I've been on, that I am on, that I will continue to be on for a lifetime. And you can access those via the link below. It's Friday in Dar es Salaam, so it gets lit. You hear people, you know, with their radios high. I'm actually about to head to a field day for my daughter, but yeah, if you found this video valuable, like it, share it with someone else who could find value in it as well. And keep doing the things, keep doing whatever it takes for you to stay in a higher vibration, to stay in a place of gratitude, to make your journey abroad, to make your journey to the continent or wherever it may be. And if I can support you in that, I would love to. Feel free to connect with me, find some time on my calendar, and we can have some one-on-one time where I can share some tools with you on how you can experience this life, a move abroad with more ease. But until the next video, I'll see you soon.